Alright, you guys, welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ryan Phipps, and it is my current mission to mentor driven young adults to a successful future by using fitness as the gateway. And I have a very special video for you guys planned out today. What we're going to be covering here specifically is 3 things you must do to gain lean muscle and make your first fitness transformation. But first, I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story. Back when I first started my fitness journey, I used to wonder how some people were able to make such amazing transformations in seemingly such little time. And it seemed like other people worked at it for years and saw no results. And I had a skinny physique because I grew up playing soccer. And to be honest, I never really cared about how skinny I was until I stopped playing soccer. But once I stopped playing, I quickly got into the gym because I wanted to build muscle and gain confidence as a result. And to be honest, at first I was one of those guys who wasn't seeing any results even though I was going to the gym pretty much every day. And it wasn't until I actually combined these 3 tips that I'm going to share with you here today that I actually started to see noticeable changes in my physique. So my point in sharing these 3 tips with you today is so that you can make more progress than me in less time, because if I'd had this information from the start, I would have made even more gains. So let's dive into tip number 1, which is getting structured in the gym. And trust me, I get it, especially when you're first working out. It's fun to go in and max bench press every single lift. And maybe some people do need to do that just to get familiar and comfortable with the environment of the gym. But to be honest with you, if you're serious about gaining a noticeable amount of muscle, the faster you get real structure, the faster you'll be able to make noticeable and predictable gains. And you want to have a set split that you follow every week. Some examples might be push-pull legs, an upper or lower body split, the Arnold split. So you have to have structure to your weeks in terms of what workouts are you going to be doing on what days, but you also want structure within your workouts. And when I say structure, I mean do the same exercises each week while applying progressive overload. And progressive overload is basically a fancy way of saying doing more over time. So in the gym, this could be using more weight, doing more reps, doing more sets, or even improving your lifting technique week to week. And just to give you guys an example of how this works, I'm going to use the bench press as an example because, well, who wouldn't want a bigger chest? So let's say in week 1 of your program, you're doing 10 reps on the bench press for 100 pounds. Week 2, you're doing 10 reps for 105 pounds. Week 3, 10 reps for 110 pounds. Week 4, 10 reps for 115 pounds. That 5 pounds you've been adding each week is a simple example of how to use progressive overload. And that's exactly what you need to do with all of your lifts to see continuous and noticeable progress. And it doesn't just have to be weight. Again, you could improve your form, do more sets, do more reps. Lifting heavier is just the most common example. If anything, I'd recommend starting with improving your form first. But this is why it's such a good idea to track your sets and your reps, because if you go into the gym each week without knowing what your numbers were the previous week, it's going to be very hard to continuously beat what you did because you don't know what you did. And the easiest way to get structured for free is just to use your notes app. And if tracking everything at first seems too tedious, just track the things you really care about. I started to see results when I tracked all of my workouts, and I also have the clients within my program track their workouts. For example, check out this awesome transformation from my online coaching client Josh, where he gained 15 pounds. This was him in the first month, and this was him in the 4th month. He gained 15 pounds because he tracked his workouts, he tracked his food, he tracked his progress through things like progress photos. And since he was tracking, it was very easy to apply progressive overload into his workouts to make sure his body was always getting an increasing stimulus, which is essential for seeing results and growing new muscle tissue. Which brings us to tip number 2, which is to learn how to track your calories and your macros. And let me tell you, when I learned this skill, my physique changed so damn fast. And just to give you some foundational information on why this skill is so essential, it's because we all have something called maintenance calories. Simply put, if we eat our maintenance calories, our body weight stays the same. If we eat below our maintenance calories or eat in a calorie deficit, we lose weight. And if we eat above maintenance or in a calorie surplus, we gain weight. But you don't just want to lose weight or gain weight. You want to gain lean muscle and lose fat, which brings us to macros. Now, macros is short for macronutrients, and the 3 macronutrients are protein, fats, and carbs. Just like with calories, there's a specific amount of protein, fats, and carbs that we should eat each day that will allow us to change our body composition. If we're eating the right amount of calories, we'll lose or gain weight like we want. And if those calories are made up of the correct macros, we'll build muscle or lose fat like we want. And I'm sure you've heard the advice, just eat more to gain weight, which is true, but it's still bad advice because eating too much more of the wrong macros will actually cause you to put on more fat than muscle. And I've been there and done that, but that's a story for another time. But you'll predictably and noticeably gain lean muscle when you get your calories and macros correct. And just real quick, if you're interested in getting your custom calories and macros for absolutely free, click the link in the description of this video to join my free online community, where I have a free course on gaining lean muscle where you're going to learn everything that you need to know about training and nutrition while getting your custom calories and macros for absolutely free, so you can get started on seeing actual results just like my clients do. Moving on to tip number 3, measure your progress. Take progress photos, weigh yourself correctly, take form videos in the gym. And I've been there myself. I know if you struggle to gain weight, it feels like sometimes no matter how much you eat, the scale just won't move up. And if it does move up, it's because you've eaten a lot for a couple of days, you miss a meal, jump on the scale, and all of a sudden you're down 7 pounds somehow. But most of the time, that's just fluctuation, which is normal and it's expected. The proper way to weigh yourself to get an accurate weigh-in is to weigh yourself first thing in the morning everything before eating or drinking anything after using the bathroom. If you jump on the scale at the end of the day, you'll have all the day's food and water inside of you still, which is absolutely enough to make the number on the scale fluctuate like crazy. I myself could fluctuate 5 to 8 pounds in a day just based on how much food I eat or how well hydrated I am for that day. For example, see how my client Josh's chart wasn't completely linear? There was some fluctuation a couple weeks, but we paid attention to the overall trend, which led to him gaining over 15 pounds of muscle and making this awesome visual transformation. Now, if you're newer to working out, another thing that you'll want to do consistently is to take form videos. When I first got obsessed with being able to see results in my lower body, I really locked in on improving my squat form. And the second I really started to focus on my technique over the weight that I was using was when I saw the most progress in my legs in the least amount of time. So guys, just to recap, be sure to get structured in the gym, learn how to track your calories and your macros, and be sure to measure your progress inside and outside of the gym week to week. So guys, I want to say thank you for your time. And as always, if you're a driven young adult looking to gain lean muscle but you're not sure how, click the link in the description of this video to join my free online community where I have free courses on gaining muscle and losing body fat, where you're going to learn everything you need to know about training and nutrition to achieve whatever goal it is that you're chasing, while getting personal access to me and my community so you can make that transformation that you really want. Thank you guys again. See you in the next one, and peace.